After enduring an extended labor as the narrator lovingly held his newborn son for the first time, his wife Emma made a unilateral decision that their son would inherit her mother's surname. She effectively closed off any dialogue about the matter, leaving no room for discussion or dissent. During a routine post-birth procedure, a nurse disclosed to the narrator that a DNA pre-screen indicated he was not the biological father of the newborn. This revelation was met with scorn from Kayla, who derided him for his supposed inadequacy as a man, compounding the shock of the unexpected paternity results with personal humiliation. Overwhelmed by shock and heartbreak, the narrator made the painful decision to leave the hospital room. As he stepped out, he was consumed by feelings of betrayal, grappling with the harsh realization that the future he had envisioned with Kayla was based on lies. This moment marked a profound loss, not just of a familial bond he thought he had formed, but also of trust and the life he had planned. In a moment heavy with anticipation, the narrator stepped back into the hospital room, his heart weighed down by recent revelations. As he approached, Kayla, with a startling indifference, dropped another bombshell. She calmly revealed that the real father of the newborn was none other than her boss, Caleb, with whom she had been intimately involved for nearly a year. This confession not only deepened the narrator's sense of betrayal, but also painted a clearer picture of the duplicity that Kayla had woven into their lives. It became painfully clear that her infidelity was not a fleeting mistake, but a deliberate, ongoing deception that had been carefully hidden under the guise of a professional. As the conversation continued in the sterile hospital room, Kayla revealed more chilling details with a chilling calmness. She confessed that her pregnancy was not a spontaneous outcome of their relationship, but rather a meticulously planned betrayal. Kayla admitted she had deliberately chosen to conceive a child with Caleb, all while deceitfully maintaining the facade that the narrator was the father. This admission was not just a revelation of infidelity, but a calculated manipulation of the narrator's deepest affections and life plans. It underscored her willingness to use the narrator's longing for fatherhood against him, effectively weaponizing his trust and their intimacy to cloak her ongoing affair. This manipulation extended beyond mere betrayal, reflecting a profound disregard for the emotional and psychological repercussions her actions would have on the narrator. In a moment fraught with deep personal pain, the narrator's emotional response to Kayla's year-long deception was met with scorn and diminishment. Kayla accused him of being overly dramatic, trivializing his profound sense of betrayal and hurt. This final disregard for his feelings acted as a catalyst for the narrator, propelling him toward a decisive course of action. Resolved to no longer be a passive victim in the narrative that Kayla had crafted, he sought legal counsel to navigate the complex web of deceit. Consulting a lawyer became necessary not just for legal reparation, but as a means for the narrator to reclaim some semblance of agency and integrity in a situation where he felt both had been severely compromised. It represented a critical shift from emotional turmoil to actionable steps, enabling him to assess his legal standings, such as the implications of the paternity revelation and the potential for confronting Kayla's fraudulent behaviors in a legal setting. This move towards seeking legal advice was a crucial step in transitioning from shock and despair to empowerment and proactive self-defense. The unfolding drama took a further twist when Caleb, the man unwittingly entangled as the biological father, initiated contact with the narrator. Caleb's voice, heavy with confusion and distress, conveyed that he had only recently discovered the existence of the child and his own unexpected paternity. This disclosure revealed yet another dimension of Caleb's deception, illustrating her manipulation extended beyond the confines of her marriage with the narrator. Caleb explained that he had been under the impression that their relationship was casual and entirely unaware of Kayla's pregnancy until after the child was born, highlighting the depth of Kayla's planning and deceit. This unexpected call not only deepened the narrator's understanding of the situation, but also unexpectedly aligned him with Caleb, another victim of Kayla's intricate lies. This connection between the two men, forged under the most unusual and stressful circumstances, brought a shared sense of victimhood and betrayal. It opened up avenues for both practical and emotional support as they navigated the repercussions of Kayla's actions. This conversation was not just a sharing of grievances, but also a crucial step towards a potential united front in seeking transparency and possibly legal recourse against Kayla's deceitful actions. In the wake of Kayla's ongoing attempts to manipulate and lie, the narrator reached a turning point. Despite her persistent efforts to reach out, often oscillating between pleas for forgiveness and subtle manipulations, the narrator fortified his resolve to cut off all contact. Each attempt by Kayla to reconnect was met with a firm, silent refusal from him. This act of distancing was more than just emotional protection. It was a crucial part of his healing process, serving as a declaration of his autonomy and a rejection of the toxic dynamics that had once ensnared him. The narrator's decision to focus on moving forward was rooted in a deep desire to reclaim his life from the shadows of betrayal. He began to invest time in activities that nurtured his mental and emotional health, whether it was picking up old hobbies that had been sidelined or exploring new interests that sparked joy and passion. These activities weren't just distractions, they were vital steps in rebuilding his sense of self-worth and identity, which had been compromised by the deceit he endured. Moreover, the narrator sought solace in building a support network of friends and family whose presence provided comfort and a sense of stability. Engaging in open, honest conversations with these trusted individuals helped him to articulate his feelings and gain perspective, further aiding his emotional recovery. This period of introspection and active disengagement from Kayla's influence also led the narrator to reflect on his personal boundaries and relationship expectations. He learned to recognize red flags and vowed to prioritize his well-being in future interactions, equipped with a clearer understanding of healthy versus unhealthy relationship dynamics. Ultimately, the narrator's choice to sever ties and focus on personal growth catalyzed a transformation within him. He emerged not only stronger and more self-assured, but also more in tune with his needs and aspirations. This newfound clarity and strength marked a significant milestone in his journey toward recovery and self-rediscovery, paving the way for a life defined not by past betrayals, but by personal fulfillment and emotional resilience. Motivated by a shared sense of injustice, Caleb and the narrator came together with a newfound resolve to expose Caleb's deceitful behavior to a broader audience. This collaborative decision was driven not only by a desire for personal vindication, but also by a commitment to prevent others from falling victim to similar manipulations. They meticulously gathered evidence, compiling text messages, emails, and any relevant documents that could corroborate their experiences and reveal the depth of Kayla's deception. As they organized the evidence, both men were struck by the calculated nature of Kayla's lies, which had deeply affected their lives in profound and personal ways. This process, while painful, was cathartic for them, providing a sense of purpose and control over a narrative that had once controlled them. They discussed various platforms and methods for sharing their story, considering the potential impact and reach. Their goal was clear: to create a comprehensive account that was not only credible, but also compelling enough to caution others. The planning phase involved careful consideration of legal implications, ensuring that their public disclosure would not expose them to legal retaliation from Kayla. He consulted with legal experts to navigate the complexities of privacy laws and defamation to safeguard themselves while achieving their objective of public awareness. As the plan took shape, Caleb and the narrator set up anonymous social media accounts and blogs where they could share their story without direct personal identification. They crafted detailed posts that laid out their experiences in a chronological narrative, highlighting Kayla's patterns of behavior and the emotional and psychological impact on their lives. Their shared story soon gained traction online, resonating with others who had faced or were facing similar situations. The response was overwhelming, with comments pouring in from individuals expressing support, sharing their own stories of deception, and thanking them for the courage to speak out. This public validation served as a powerful affirmation for Caleb and the narrator, reinforcing the importance of their decision to expose the truth. By taking their story public, they not only managed to reclaim their own narratives, but also created a space for collective healing and awareness. It was a bold move that transformed their personal grievances into a public discourse on trust, betrayal, and the importance of transparency in relationships. The fallout from the publication of Caleb and the narrator's story was profound and far-reaching. As the details of Caleb's manipulative actions spread across the internet and through social media, the court of public opinion quickly turned against her. The narrative, grounded in hard evidence and personal testimony, resonated deeply, prompting widespread condemnation of her actions. This public censure extended beyond mere online comments, deeply affecting her social and professional life. In the professional realm, Kayla's employer was forced to reassess her position within the company. Given the ethical concerns raised by her deceptive personal conduct, her suitability for her role came under scrutiny. The fear of reputational damage to the organization led to a reevaluation of her employment, with potential disciplinary actions looming, including the possibility of termination. This professional jeopardy was a direct consequence of her actions becoming public knowledge, illustrating the serious career implications of personal misconduct. Socially, the repercussions were equally severe. Friends and acquaintances recoiled, unwilling to associate with someone whose integrity had been so publicly compromised. Invitations dwindled, social engagements were canceled, and Kayla found herself increasingly isolated. This ostracism extended to online spaces as well, where her name became synonymous with betrayal and deceit. This isolation forced Kayla into a period of enforced solitude, during which she had to confront the ramifications of her actions not just externally but internally. The stark contrast between her former life, filled with social and professional engagements, and her new reality, marked by solitude and reflection, highlighted the personal costs of her actions. Moreover, the story catalyzed a broader societal conversation about ethics and relationships. It served as a potent reminder of the importance of integrity and the damaging effects of deceit. Discussion forums, blogs, and even counseling sessions referenced the story as a case study in the importance of trust and the deep wounds inflicted by its breach. The impact of Caleb and the narrator's actions in making the story public also demonstrated the power of shared experiences in fostering community and healing. Many who had silently suffered similar betrayals found strength in their story, coming forward to share their own experiences. This collective catharsis not only helped others heal, but also reinforced the social norms against deceit, setting a precedent for accountability. In summary, Caleb's exposure led to a domino effect of consequences that transcended her immediate environment, affecting her professional life, social relationships, and personal growth, while also contributing to a societal reaffirmation of the values of honesty and integrity in personal relationships. As the dust began to settle, the narrator experienced a profound transformation. Months after the initial turmoil, he found himself on a path toward healing and recovery. This journey was not just about moving past the betrayal, but also about understanding and growth. The process allowed him to reevaluate his life's priorities and redefine what happiness and fulfillment meant to him, free from the shadows of deceit. The narrator chose to channel his experiences into something positive by sharing his story more broadly. He recognized that his ordeal had equipped him with valuable insights that could assist others facing similar betrayals. By speaking at conferences, participating in support groups, and writing about his experiences, he provided a roadmap for healing and overcoming adversity. His story, once a source of immense pain, became a beacon of hope for others. This act of sharing not only helped others, but also significantly aided his own healing process. It reinforced his understanding that he was not alone in his experiences and that betrayal, while devastating, did not define him. Engaging with others who empathized with his situation or who had been through similar experiences provided a sense of community and support that was crucial during his recovery. Furthermore, the narrator's efforts to help others brought a new sense of purpose to his life. It transformed his narrative from one of victimhood to one of empowerment and advocacy. This shift was not instantaneous, but was a result of deliberate efforts and the passage of time, during which he learned to forgive, not necessarily to excuse the actions of others, but to free himself from the anger and bitterness that had once consumed him. His outreach culminated in the creation of various platforms and forums where individuals could share their stories of personal betrayal and recovery. These platforms fostered a supportive community environment where open discussion of emotional injuries and healing processes was encouraged. In this new chapter of his life, the narrator not only found peace, but also rediscovered his own strength and resilience. He emerged from the ordeal with a renewed sense of self and a deep understanding of the human capacity for both hurt and healing. His story, shared with honesty and vulnerability, continued to inspire and support countless individuals navigating their own paths through betrayal.